It started on a quiet morning. Across the world, people were doing ordinary things. Some were going to work, some were eating breakfast, and some were still asleep. The sky was clear in most cities, and there was nothing unusual to see. Then, without warning, every screen in the world turned black. Phones, televisions, computers, even digital billboards all went dark at the same time. A bright white symbol appeared on every screen. It was a circle made of strange curved lines that no one had ever seen before. The lines moved as if they were alive. Then a voice came from the screens. It was deep and strange, speaking in every language at once. The words were clear to every person who heard them. This is a message to the people of Earth. We have found your world. You have been observed. You are not alone. You will soon be part of the Empire. The voice paused for a few seconds. Then it continued with a warning: do not resist. Your planet will be visited. Prepare for your new rulers. The message ended. The symbol faded away. Every screen returned to normal. People stood frozen. In homes, offices, schools, and streets, no one moved for several seconds. It felt like time itself had stopped. Then fear spread. Some people screamed. Others ran to their families. News channels began to report what had happened. The same message had appeared everywhere. It was not a single country's broadcast. It was global. Scientists confirmed that the signal came from deep space. It was not a human transmission. The world fell into chaos for several hours. The internet filled with panic. Some said it was fake, some said it was real, but soon governments confirmed it was genuine. The signal came from a point near Jupiter. The object sending it was enormous, larger than any human ship or satellite. It was moving toward Earth. The United Nations called an emergency meeting. Leaders of every nation joined through secure communication lines. Fear was visible on their faces. For the first time in history, all human governments were united by the same threat. In a large hall in Geneva, people gathered in front of screens, showing the meeting. Scientists explained what they had learned. The signal was too complex to be man-made. The object had moved in a way no known machine could move. It was clear that something intelligent, something from another world, had found Earth. The world had dreamed about alien life for centuries, but no one had expected it to come with such a cold message. It was not a greeting. It was a warning. Humanity had always imagined first contact as a moment of peace or discovery. Instead, it came as a threat. Among those watching the news was a woman named Mira. She worked as a communication officer in the Global Space Defense Center. She had served in the space agency for many years. She loved the stars, but never believed she would live to see proof of life out there. She sat at her desk, listening to the reports coming in from around the world. Her phone rang. It was her commander, General Tan. He told her to come to the main command room immediately. When she arrived, the room was filled with screens showing different parts of the world. People were talking fast, sending information, trying to make sense of what had happened. General Tan stood near the main display. His face was calm, but his eyes showed concern. "Mira," he said, "we have confirmation that the message was real. The object is near Jupiter's orbit. It is slowing down. We need to prepare a response." "What kind of response?" Mira asked. "For now, we will listen. But we must also prepare for the worst. The Council wants to build a plan for defense. Every nation is sending resources and experts. We are going to work as one world." Mira nodded. She understood the importance of this moment. Humanity was standing on the edge of something unknown. Fear was spreading, but there was also a growing feeling of unity. For the first time, people realized that they were all part of the same planet, facing the same danger around the world. People reacted in different ways. Some prayed. Some prepared for survival. Scientists worked day and night to study the signal and learn more about the source. Astronomers pointed telescopes toward the direction of Jupiter and confirmed that a massive ship was there. It looked like a long, dark shape moving slowly through space. Social media was filled with both fear and hope. Many said this was the end of the world. Others believed it was the beginning of a new chapter. Leaders appeared on television to calm their people. They told everyone to stay strong and trust the scientists. In a small town, a group of students gathered in their school gym. Their teacher told them that this moment would be remembered in history. He said that humanity must stand together, not fight each other. The students listened quietly. For the first time, they felt like citizens of one planet, not just one country. Mira worked through the night with her team. They received more data from observatories. The alien ship was now slowing down. It had sent another pulse of energy toward Earth, but this one was not a message. It was a scan. Every satellite on Earth had detected it. The aliens were studying the planet. The scientists tried to send a reply message, but there was no answer. It seemed the aliens were not interested in talking. They were only observing. Mira sat in front of her console, looking at the data. She felt a mix of fear and curiosity. What kind of beings could travel across space so easily? Why would they threaten instead of communicate? She wondered if humanity had done something to appear as a danger to them. Hours later, General Tan called another meeting. This time, representatives from many countries joined. They agreed to start a global defense project. It would be called the Earth United Initiative. Every nation would share knowledge and technology. The goal was to create something that could defend the planet if the aliens attacked. Factories began to shift production. Engineers worked together across borders. Scientists shared data without hiding secrets. Soldiers from different armies trained under one command. The world had changed overnight. Fear had forced humanity to do what decades of diplomacy could not. While leaders planned, the people also changed. Many stopped fighting online. Old political arguments became meaningless. Strangers helped one another. People started saying we instead of us and them. The message that had begun as a threat was turning into a reason for unity. Mira noticed the same change in her own heart. She no longer thought of herself as working for one country. She was working for Earth. Each time she heard new information about the alien ship, she felt stronger, not weaker. She wanted to prove that humanity was worth saving. A week passed after the first message. The alien ship was still near Jupiter, not moving closer yet. Scientists guessed that they were preparing something. Some said they were studying human technology. Others believed they were waiting for the right time to send another signal. Then one night, every telescope detected a strange burst of light from the alien ship. It was bright enough to be seen even by small observatories. The burst formed the same circle symbol that had appeared on Earth's screens. It lasted for 2 minutes and then faded away. The world held its breath. Everyone waited for another message. Hours passed, but nothing came. The alien ship remained silent. In the command center, Mira looked at the data again. She turned to General Tan. "What do you think it means?" she asked. He looked at the screen and said, "It means they are watching us. They want us to know that they are still here." Mira nodded. "Then we must be ready." He smiled slightly. "Yes, and we will be. Humans learn fast when we have to." That night, as she walked outside the base, Mira looked up at the stars. Somewhere out there was a ship full of beings that saw humans as weak. But she knew they were wrong. Humanity had many faults, but when pushed, it could rise higher than anyone expected. The stars no longer looked peaceful. They looked like a challenge. The threat from the aliens had done something strange. It had made Earth stronger. People were afraid, but that fear had turned into determination. The world had never been this united. Myra took a deep breath and whispered to herself, "If they are coming, they will see what humans can do together." And somewhere beyond Jupiter, the alien ship waited silently, still watching. The battle between fear and hope had begun long before the first weapon was built. It had begun the moment humanity decided not to surrender. The days after the alien message were unlike anything in human history. The whole planet worked as if it had become one giant machine. Every nation sent experts, scientists, engineers, and soldiers to join the new Earth United Initiative. It was not easy. There were disagreements, mistrust, and fear, but something stronger kept everyone going. The survival of Earth was more important than pride or power. In the main command center of the global space defense, Mira watched the busy screens around her. Reports arrived from every continent. New defense factories were being built. New laboratories were testing weapons that had only been dreams before. Space agencies shared every bit of research they had kept secret for years. General Tan stood beside her. His voice was firm but calm. "Mira, this is our chance to show that humans can stand together. We cannot think like old nations anymore. We must think like one planet. ... The world is finally listening, sir. Everyone wants to do something. People are scared, but they want to help." Tan looked at the map on the large screen. Lines connected different regions of the world. Each line represented a network of cooperation. "Then let us give them a purpose," he said. Soon, Earth United Initiative released a message to the public. It was shown on every major channel and platform. The spokesperson stood before the United Nations flag and spoke clearly. The message from beyond the stars was not an invitation. It was a warning. We may be facing a great danger, but we will not surrender. From this moment, all nations of Earth will work together to protect our home. We will build, we will learn, and we will stand as one. The message gave people hope. It turned fear into strength. Around the world, people began volunteering for new space programs. Engineers joined design teams. Farmers donated supplies to feed workers. Students left schools to help wherever they could. Humanity had found its common purpose. Mira was assigned to lead a communication and coordination team. Her job was to make sure that information moved fast between all global centers. She worked with people from many countries. They spoke in different accents, but they all shared the same goal in one meeting. Mira spoke with a young engineer named Rafi. He was working on the first orbital station that would serve as the main line of defense. "The station was called Guardian 1, Rafi said. "We are building it above the equator. It will be the size of a city. We are using new alloys that can survive strong energy blasts. If the aliens come, this station will be the first to meet them." Mira smiled. "It sounds like something from a dream." Rafi laughed softly. "A few months ago, it was only a dream. Now, it is a necessity. We have no choice." Across the planet, scientists developed new technologies at a speed never seen before. They created faster engines, stronger shields, and advanced communication systems that could reach deep space. The best minds were united. It was not just a military effort. Artists, writers, and teachers also played their part by keeping people's spirits high. Mira worked long hours, often sleeping in her office. Every morning she woke up to new reports. Sometimes the news was good. Sometimes it was worrying. One day she read that the alien ship near Jupiter had released several smaller objects. They seemed to be scanning the planet's orbit. Astronomers named them observation drones. When she told General Tan, he looked thoughtful. "They are watching us closely. That means they see our progress. Good. Let them see that humans do not wait for fate. We act." The news of the alien drones made humanity work even faster. The people of Earth did not want to appear weak. Factories ran day and night. Robots and humans worked together. Spaceports became busy with launches of supply ships carrying parts for Guardian 1. Mira watched the first construction module leave the atmosphere. It shined bright like a star in the morning sky. Thousands of people around the world saw it and cheered. It was a moment of pride. It was proof that humans were not giving up. Months passed quickly. Guardian 1 started taking shape in orbit. It looked like a ring made of silver, with towers and panels spreading out from its sides. It would hold powerful defense cannons, radar systems, and docking bays for space fighters. Every day, teams of engineers and astronauts worked in shifts to complete it. Mira and Rafi stayed in contact daily. They often discussed technical problems and shared updates. Even when exhausted, they kept going. The thought of the alien threat gave them strength. One night, during a short break, Mira and Rafi talked through the secure channel. Rafi said, "Sometimes I think about those beings near Jupiter. They might be watching us right now, wondering why we are not afraid." Mira replied, "Maybe they think we are foolish to resist. But fear does not control us. Hope does." Rafi smiled. "Hope and hard work. That is the human way. Back on Earth, training centers were built to prepare pilots and soldiers for space combat. The first generation of Earth defense pilots was called the Sky Guardians. They trained in simulators and aircraft designed to fly both in the sky and in orbit. Mira often visited their training grounds to motivate them. One day, she stood before a group of young recruits. "You are the first line of defense," she said. "You represent not just one country, but all of humanity. You carry our hopes with you. When you fly, remember that you are fighting for everyone who calls this planet home." Many were nervous, but Mira could see the fire in their eyes. Humanity's courage was beginning to shine brighter than its fear. By the 6th month of preparation, Guardian 1 was nearly half complete. New factories in Asia, Africa, and South America were producing the last components. Even nations that had been rivals worked side by side. Old enemies shared meals, stories, and dreams of victory. In the command room, Mira watched a live feed of Guardian 1's structure. The massive station floated above Earth like a shining ring of light. Engineers on the station waved at the cameras as they worked. Everyone on Earth watched with pride. Suddenly, an alarm sounded in the command center. One of the satellites had detected a movement near Jupiter. The alien ship had started to change its position. It was rotating slowly, and its smaller drones were returning to it. General Tan entered the room quickly. "What do we have?" he asked. An officer replied, "The alien ship is active again. We are tracking energy signatures. It could be preparing for a jump." Mira looked at the readings. The energy levels were rising. "It looked as if the aliens were charging some kind of engine," Tan said. "Alert all defense stations. We must assume they are preparing to move closer." Within minutes, every major defense system on Earth was put on high alert. Pilots rushed to their stations. Communication lines stayed open between all nations. The world waited once again. Hours passed. The alien ship glowed with strange light. Then, without warning, it vanished from its position near Jupiter. Astronomers searched the sky but could not find it. For a few terrifying moments, no one knew where it had gone. Then a signal came from the moon's orbit. The alien ship had reappeared there. It was much closer to Earth now. Panic spread across the command room. Mira felt her heart pound. "They are here," she whispered. Tan gave orders with a steady voice. "Activate all orbital defenses. Prepare Guardian 1 for emergency launch. Inform the Council that contact is now certain." Messages were sent across the planet. Every city went into emergency mode. But even in fear, people did not fall into chaos this time. They stayed organized. They trusted the plan they had built together. On the screen, the alien ship looked enormous. It was shaped like a blade of black metal, almost 10 kilometers long. Its surface shined with moving lights. It gave no signal, no greeting, only silence. Mira stared at it in awe and fear. "It looks like a living machine," she said. Tan replied. "Maybe it is both. But whatever it is, it will know we are ready." Guardian 1 was not fully complete, but the teams in orbit powered up its main defense systems. For the first time, Earth had something in space that could protect it. The station's lights turned on one by one. The human-made ring began to shine brighter against the black of space around the world. People watched the live broadcast. Children, elders, and families gathered near screens. No one spoke. They all watched as the first human space station faced the unknown. Then, after many tense minutes, the alien ship sent out another message. The same circle symbol appeared in the sky above the moon. A new voice echoed across every acouted communication system. "You have prepared yourselves. We are observing. Your resistance will not change the outcome." Mira clenched her fists. "They still think we will bow," she said softly. Tan looked at her. "Then we will show them they are wrong." The alien ship turned its direction slightly. Its movement was slow, but full of power. Its energy readings were massive. Scientists believed it was preparing another scan or weapon test. General Tan gave the order. "Guardian 1, raise shields and hold your position. The world is watching." In orbit, human pilots sat ready in their small fighters. Their ships were new, untested in real combat, but their hearts were strong. They looked at the alien ship in the distance and waited for the signal. Back on Earth, Mira watched the countdown clock. The tension was thick, but no one gave up. Humanity had built something extraordinary in just a few months. Whatever happened next, the world had proven that it could rise above fear. The alarm sounded across all defense centers on Earth. Pilots, engineers, and soldiers had trained for this moment. But seeing it come was different. The alien fleet had left its position near the moon and moved closer. The massive ships appeared in the outer edges of Earth's orbit. Larger and more terrifying than anyone had imagined. From orbit, Mira watched the screens as Guardian 1's radar displayed the approaching fleet. There were at least a dozen massive ships. Their black holes reflected the sunlight, making them look like enormous blades floating in space. Each ship moved with precision, showing intelligence and coordination. General Tan walked behind Mira. His face was calm, but his eyes were sharp. "They are testing us," he said. "They are seeing how we respond." "Duh," Mira nodded. "Then we will give them an answer they will not forget." The first line of human fighters launched from Guardian 1, small, agile, and fast. The fighters moved in formation. They were not designed to fight the alien ships head-on. Their strength lay in speed, teamwork, and clever tactics. Pilots trained for months to coordinate in three-dimensional space combat. The alien fleet did not attack immediately. Instead, they sent smaller vessels toward Earth's orbit. These were scouts, faster and shaped like sharp triangles. They moved silently and scanned every station and satellite. Mira and her team monitored every movement. Communication channels were filled with reports and warnings. Scientists on the ground calculated energy signatures, trying to understand what weapons the aliens carried. Every new piece of information was sent to Guardian 1 instantly. Captain Raffi, pilot from India, led one squadron of human fighters. "Remember," he said to his team, "we are not just flying for ourselves. We are flying for every person on Earth. Be smart. Be fast. Trust each other." The squadron moved closer to the alien scouts. At first it seemed the scouts ignored them. Then suddenly the aliens fired a beam of light. The beam was not destructive, but it forced the human fighters to maneuver quickly. It was a warning, a show of power. Raffi's squadron executed a series of evasive maneuvers. They used their speed and agility to confuse the scouts. One fighter, piloted by young Amina from Egypt, managed to fly close enough to jam the sensors of a scout. It spun out of control and drifted away. Back on Guardian 1, Myra and Tan cheered. The humans had struck the first blow. It was not a destructive victory, but it proved that Earth's defenses were effective. The alien ships adjusted. They started to form patterns surrounding Guardian 1. Their movements were precise and coordinated. Mira studied the screens. "They are not attacking randomly," she said. "They are learning. They are analyzing our strategies." Tan nodded. "Then we must keep changing our strategies faster than they can learn." For days, the skirmishes continued. Humans used every trick they had learned. Small groups of fighters would distract alien scouts while others repaired stations or tested new weapons. Scientists used asteroids as cover and even as shields. Drones powered by solar energy flew alongside human ships, confusing the alien sensors. On Earth, citizens watched the broadcasts of the battles. They saw human pilots risking their lives, performing impossible maneuvers and outsmarting the alien scouts. Messages of hope spread quickly. Children drew pictures of Guardian 1 and shared them online. Families wrote letters to pilots calling them heroes. Humanity's courage inspired the whole world. Mira spent hours coordinating. She stayed awake for long stretches, sending commands, receiving updates, and encouraging pilots. She never allowed fear to show in her voice. "Every move counts," she reminded her team. "Every calculation matters. We are not just defending a station. We are defending Earth itself." In the middle of the second week, the aliens made their first major attack. One of the massive ships fired a beam of energy at Guardian 1. The shields glowed as they absorbed the force. Shaking the station slightly, human engineers worked quickly, directing energy to strengthen weak points. Raffi's squadron flew close to the alien ship, trying to find an opening. The alien vessel fired another beam, forcing them to dodge. Then, using a combination of speed and solar-powered drones, the squadron managed to damage the alien ship's sensor array. It was a small victory, but it gave humanity confidence. Mira allowed herself a small smile. "They can hit us, but they cannot break us," she said. Back on Earth, people were preparing for possible impacts. Emergency shelters were ready in case alien weapons reached the surface. Governments provided clear instructions. But unlike the first days, panic was rare. Humans had found courage in their unity. People helped each other, shared resources, and kept morale high. In orbit, Mira noticed a pattern. The aliens attacked in repeated cycles. They tested defenses, withdrew, and then tested again. It became clear that they were studying human tactics. Every battle was a lesson for them. Tan observed the data. "They will try to overwhelm us with numbers," he said, "but humans do not fight like machines. We adapt, we improvise, and we cooperate. That is our strength." The aliens' main ships remained at a distance. They did not enter Earth's lower orbit. Instead, they relied on scouts and long-range weapons. This allowed Guardian 1 and human fighters to operate without full-scale destruction. Every day was tense, but every day humanity learned more. Amina, the young pilot, became a symbol of hope. She performed daring maneuvers, saving her team multiple times. Videos of her skills spread across Earth. People cheered for her courage. Children painted pictures of her ships. In the command center, Mira watched the pilots carefully. Every decision mattered. A small mistake could cost lives. She reminded herself constantly that fear could not guide her actions. Only focus, strategy, and teamwork could win. Then, one evening, the aliens made a bold move. One of their large ships moved closer to Guardian 1 than ever before. It unleashed a series of energy pulses that shook the station. Human shields barely held. The station trembled under the force, alarms blaring. Myra felt her heart race. Engineers reported damage to some external modules. Raffi's squadron was sent immediately to create a diversion. They flew in coordinated patterns, dodging beams, forcing the alien ship to retreat slightly. Tan spoke to the command center. "This is the first real test of Guardian 1's strength. Observe carefully. Learn from every attack. Humans survive by thinking faster than their enemies." The battle lasted for hours. Human pilots, drones, and orbital defenses worked together perfectly. Each attack was countered. Each maneuver was calculated. By the end, the alien ship retreated to its previous position near the outer orbit. Mira let herself breathe for the first time in hours. "We held them back," she said quietly. Tan nodded. "Yes, but this is only the beginning. They will return. We must be ready for everything." On Earth, people celebrated quietly. No parades or festivals were held. There was no joy in the fear-filled night. But families hugged, communities shared meals, and children were told stories of bravery. Humanity's courage had grown stronger. The alien fleet remained near Earth, observing. They did not attack cities directly. They did not make any new threats. It was clear that they were still learning. Humanity had survived the first major test. They had proven that fear alone could not control them. Mira looked at the stars from the observation deck. The alien ships were far but imposing. She thought about the pilots, engineers, and scientists who had risked everything. Humanity had been forced to unite, and it had done so beautifully. Raffi contacted her over the secure channel. "Captain, the squadron is resting. Systems are stable." "We learned a lot today," Mira replied. "Good work, everyone. Remember, each victory is a lesson, not the end. The aliens will keep testing us, but they will see something they did not expect. Humans do not give up." In the quiet moments that followed, Mira reflected on how much had changed. The planet that had once argued over borders and power was now united. The people who had once doubted each other were now allies. Fear had been transformed into courage. And above it all, the alien fleet remained in orbit. They had arrived, they had threatened, and they had tested humanity. But the humans had risen to the challenge. They were learning, adapting, and growing stronger. The battle for survival had begun. But humanity had already shown its first victory. They had survived contact with a powerful enemy. They had survived fear. And they were not afraid to stand together again, no matter what came next. Mira knew the truth. The aliens had underestimated humans. They thought that a young species, fragile and divided, would bow. Instead, they found a species that could think, adapt, and unite faster than any machine. The fleet remained a shadow in the distance, a silent reminder that the universe was vast and dangerous. But humanity had taken its first step into a new chapter, a chapter of courage, unity, and hope. The fight was far from over. But humans had learned their first lesson. When they worked together, nothing could break their spirit. The battles in orbit had tested humanity's courage and unity, but no one knew what the aliens would do next. The massive fleet hovered in the outer edges of Earth's orbit, silent and threatening. Humans had survived the first attacks, but the enemy's power was far greater. Every human station, satellite, and fighter ship was on alert. The planet had learned quickly, but the coming days would demand even more. Mira walked through the control room of Guardian 1. The room buzzed with energy. Engineers monitored shields and weapons. Pilots checked their instruments. And scientists analyzed the alien fleet's movements. Every face showed determination. Every decision mattered. General Tan spoke to the team. The aliens are learning. Every time we respond, they adjust. We must not let them outthink us. We will turn their own tactics against them. Remember, humans do not fight like machines. We think, we adapt, and we cooperate. Mira nodded. We can use what we learned from the last battle. They expect us to follow patterns, but we will break them. The first move came the next morning. The alien scouts returned, flying in formations that had been seen before. They tested the human defenses, sending beams of energy at satellites and stations. Pilots engaged the scouts immediately. The small human ships were faster and more agile. Using new maneuvers, they distracted the scouts while drones repaired damaged modules on Guardian 1. Raffi led a squadron that moved close to the alien scouts. They used solar-powered drones to confuse enemy sensors. One scout was hit by a coordinated maneuver, causing it to spin out of control and drift into space. The victory was small, but important. It showed that humans could exploit the aliens' weaknesses. Mira studied the energy readings from the alien fleet. They were beginning to rely on a single type of attack. Every burst of energy had a pattern. If humans could predict it, they could defend more effectively. We can use this against them, Mira said. They are learning from us, but we can trick them. General Tan approved the plan. Teams worked quickly to reprogram drones and adjust fighter strategies. New weapons were tested. Satellites were repositioned to create false targets. Humanity's creativity became their strongest weapon. The next attack came faster than expected. The aliens sent a large ship toward Earth's lower orbit. Its energy beams were stronger than any before. Cities on Earth were shielded by orbital defenses, but the tension was high. People watched the sky as Guardian 1 absorbed the first attacks. The station shook, but it held. Human fighters moved in coordinated formations. Raffi's squadron led a diversion while other teams used drones and asteroid fragments to shield the station. Engineers redirected energy from less damaged modules to the shields under attack. Every move was carefully calculated. The alien ship fired repeatedly. But it became clear that humans were no longer predictable. Beams missed targets as fighters dodged, drones intercepted signals, and Guardian 1 adjusted its position. After hours of battle, the alien ship retreated. It had tested humans, but humans had outsmarted it. Back on Earth, people cheered. Schools, offices, and homes shared the news. Humanity's courage was now visible to everyone. Children drew pictures of Guardian 1 defending Earth. Families sent messages of hope to pilots. Communities celebrated in small ways, knowing that their planet had survived another day. Mira received a message from Rafi. Captain, the squadron is safe. We have learned their patterns. We can predict the next attack better. Guardian 1 is stable, Mira replied. Good work. Keep analyzing. They will try again, and we must be ready. Scientists had also discovered a new opportunity. The aliens' large ships relied on energy pulses that took time to recharge. During that period, humans could use counterattacks. Using this knowledge, engineers and pilots created strategies to strike at weak points. The turning point came when humans used an asteroid belt near Mars. Small human ships maneuvered asteroids into the path of the alien scouts. Drones powered by sunlight guided them carefully. The scouts collided with asteroids or were forced to move away. Giving humans a clear advantage, General Tan observed the operation with satisfaction. Humans adapt quickly. The aliens do not expect this. Mira watched the live feed. Human fighters moved with precision, using every trick they had developed in months of preparation. One pilot, Amina, performed daring maneuvers that drew the attention of the alien fleet. Her squadron exploited every opening, damaging the alien ship's energy shields. The aliens were no longer just testing humans. They were learning that humans could surprise them. Every move, every tactic was unexpected. Guardian 1 remained steady, absorbing attacks and supporting human fighters. On Earth, people followed every update. The news was broadcast live on every channel. Governments encouraged unity. Communities sent messages of support to pilots and engineers. Humanity had found strength not only in technology but in courage and cooperation. The alien fleet grew frustrated. Their strategies were less effective. Beams missed targets, drones were jammed, and fighters used maneuvers they could not predict. Humanity had taken the first steps to turn fear into power. Mira and Tan gathered the command team. We have to keep pushing, Tan said. The aliens are strong, but they underestimate humans. We have one advantage, our ability to adapt, Mira agreed. We will continue to surprise them. We will use every tool, every strategy, and every human skill to defend Earth. That night, Guardian 1 remained in orbit. The massive station glowed against the darkness of space. Pilots rested in their quarters, engineers repaired minor damages, and scientists analyzed data from the day's battle. The human fleet had survived the first major engagement with the aliens. It was a victory, but not the end. In private, Mira reflected on how far humanity had come. Just months ago, the world had panicked at a simple message. Now humans were fighting in space as one united force. She thought about every engineer, pilot, and soldier who had worked tirelessly. Every person on Earth had contributed in some way. Humanity had discovered strength in unity. The next morning, a new challenge appeared. The aliens deployed multiple ships in different positions around Earth's orbit. It was clear they wanted to overwhelm human defenses. Guardian 1 and the human fleet had to act quickly. Myra coordinated with all teams. We will divide our forces. Each squadron has a target. Use asteroids, drones, and every strategy we have developed. Remember, humans do not fight like the aliens. We adapt and we learn. The battle lasted for hours. Fighters dodged energy beams, drones intercepted signals, and Guardian 1's shields absorbed attacks. Humanity used every tactic they had developed. The aliens adjusted, but humans were always one step ahead. A breakthrough occurred when engineers discovered a weak point in one alien ship's energy system. They sent a precise signal through the drones, causing the ship's shield to overload. The ship had to retreat. Humanity had won a small but important victory. Tan looked at the command center and smiled. This is the turning point. Humans have shown that they can adapt, learn, and fight as one. The aliens underestimated us, and they are beginning to realize our potential. Mira nodded. They thought fear would control us. Instead, courage is guiding every action. Humans are stronger than they imagined. Across Earth, people celebrated quietly. The battle had not reached the surface, but everyone knew the significance. Humanity had survived again. Humans had learned to fight smarter, not just harder. In orbit, pilots prepared for the next attack. Engineers repaired systems, and scientists calculated new strategies. Guardian 1 remained a symbol of human strength. The alien fleet hovered, watching and learning. But humans were ready to surprise them at every turn. The turning point had arrived. Humanity was no longer only defending. They were beginning to shape the battle, using intelligence, unity, and courage to take control. Mira looked at the stars. The alien ships were still powerful, but they had learned something new. Humans would not be broken by fear. Humans could adapt, improve, and fight together. Guardian 1 shone like a beacon of hope. Tan placed a hand on her shoulder. Remember this moment, Mira. Humanity is learning to be unstoppable. We will show them what humans can do when united. The alien fleet remained in orbit, watching silently. But they had begun to understand that humans were not a simple species to conquer. Humanity had survived, adapted, and turned fear into power. The universe was witnessing the rise of a species that could fight with courage, intelligence, and unity. Mira knew the battles were far from over. The aliens were still powerful, and the next challenge would be greater. But humanity had learned the greatest lesson. Together. They could face any threat, and no force could break their spirit. The turning point had come, and Earth was ready to defend itself like never before. The alien fleet had been observing Earth for weeks. Every move humanity made was recorded, every strategy analyzed. Despite their power and advanced technology, the aliens had begun to realize something unexpected. Humans were not easily controlled. Humans adapted, learned, and worked together in ways the aliens could not predict. Guardian 1 had become the central hub of Earth's defense. Pilots trained relentlessly. Engineers repaired stations after each minor skirmish. Scientists calculated every possible move the alien fleet might take. Humanity was ready, but the tension remained. Every person on Earth knew that the next confrontation could be decisive. Mira walked through the control center. The room was alive with activity. Screens displayed the alien fleet's movements, radar signals, and energy readings. Human pilots prepared for training exercises and simulations. Even when not under direct attack, every crew member knew that vigilance was essential. General Tan approached Mira. His expression was calm but serious. Mira, we have learned much about them. They are intelligent, but they are not perfect. Their analysis is strong, but they cannot predict the human spirit. That is our greatest advantage. Mira nodded. They have seen what we can do in space. Now we must show them what we can do on Earth. The aliens made their move the following day. They advanced closer to the planet, positioning large ships just beyond the moon. Smaller vessels moved into Earth's orbit. Their goal was clear: test the full defense of the planet and the human fleet. Raffi led a squadron of pilots on reconnaissance missions. They moved in formation with drones that emitted confusing signals. The drones mimicked human ships, creating false targets. The alien scouts fired at them repeatedly, but their beams often missed or struck empty space. Humans had learned to use every tool at their disposal, turning the aliens' own strength against them. Back on Earth, people remained calm. Governments encouraged cooperation and calm behavior. Citizens helped each other. Communities sent messages of encouragement to pilots and engineers. Humanity's morale had grown as the battles continued. The world had learned to face fear with courage. Mira monitored the communications. One alert showed that the alien fleet was preparing a major energy burst. Calculations indicated that it could reach Earth if deployed fully. Tan issued orders immediately. Activate all shields, prepare Guardian 1, and deploy every fighter in orbit. We will protect our planet. Humanity does not surrender. Human pilots took to the skies. They flew in precise formations, using every maneuver and tactic developed over months. Drones powered by sunlight moved alongside them, jamming alien sensors. The battle was about to reach a new level. The alien fleet unleashed its energy burst. Guardian 1's shields absorbed much of it, shaking the station but holding firm. Human fighters dodged beams, created diversions, and struck at alien ships whenever they could. The aliens were surprised. Their attack had been expected to overwhelm humans, but humans had prepared carefully. Raffi's squadron executed a daring plan. They lured one of the large alien ships into an asteroid belt. Using drones, they guided the asteroids to create obstacles for the alien ship. It collided with several rocks, slowing down and forcing the alien fleet to adjust its formation. Mira observed the battle carefully. Every movement, every calculation mattered. Human pilots worked in coordination with engineers and scientists on Guardian 1. The aliens could strike with power, but humans struck with intelligence. Every skirmish gave humans new insight into the alien fleet. Hours passed. The alien fleet began to retreat. Their energy levels had dropped, and their formation was disrupted. Humanity had held Earth's orbit. Guardian 1 remained strong. Pilots returned to their stations, and engineers repaired minor damages. Tan addressed the command team. They are learning what we have always known. Humans are unpredictable. We adapt, we resist. They cannot control us through fear. Mira looked at the displays. The alien fleet had withdrawn beyond the moon. For now, Earth was safe. Humanity had survived the first full-scale test of their defenses. The planet had stood united, strong and courageous. On Earth, people celebrated quietly. Children drew pictures of Guardian 1 and human pilots. Families sent messages of hope and pride. Communities gathered to share stories of courage and unity. Humanity had survived a powerful enemy. Then a new idea emerged among scientists and leaders. If humans had survived the attacks, they could send a message of their own. Not just to the aliens near Earth, but to any being watching across the stars. They decided to send a message through deep space communication. It's a letter from humanity itself. Mira was chosen to help write it. She and a team of linguists, scientists, and leaders worked together. They wanted to show the aliens who humans really were. Not weak, not divided, but strong, united, and full of courage. After hours of work, the message was ready. It was simple, clear, and honest. It said, "Dear aliens, thanks for the threat. You reminded us of who we are. We fight for each other. We learn fast. We grow stronger. We are Earth. We will protect our home. We will defend each other. You will see that humans are not easy to control. We do not surrender. We adapt, we survive, and we rise together." The message was sent into deep space, aimed at the alien fleet and any watchers in the galaxy. Mira watched the signal leave the planet. It was a symbol of courage, unity, and hope. Raffi, now resting after another long mission, spoke to Mira. That message is more than words. It shows them our spirit. They will understand that humans are not a species to underestimate. Myra nodded. Yes, it tells them that fear cannot guide us. Courage, intelligence, and unity will always guide humanity. The alien fleet received the message. Observatories detected energy signals reflecting back from their ships. It was clear that the aliens were analyzing the words. Whether they understood the full meaning or not, they now knew something important. Humans would not bow. Humans would not surrender. Humans were ready to defend their planet. On Earth, people felt proud. For the first time, humanity had proven itself to the universe. Citizens understood that the battles in orbit were not only about survival, they were about showing the universe what humans could do when united. Myra and Tan watched the stars together. "They may return," Tan said. "But now, they know we are strong. They know humans are more than just numbers and weakness. They know we are capable of courage, unity, and intelligence." Mira smiled. "We have sent them our letter. Not a threat, not a surrender, but a promise. Humans will protect each other. We will survive. We will rise." In the following days, the alien fleet remained near the outer orbit. No new attacks came immediately. Humans used the time to strengthen their defenses, train new pilots, and continue improving Guardian 1. Every step prepared them for future encounters. Myra walked through the command center, serving her team. Engineers repaired modules, scientists calculated new strategies, and pilots studied past battles. Every person knew that their efforts mattered. Humanity's strength lay in preparation, unity, and courage. On Earth, citizens continued to support the efforts in space. Volunteers helped supply teams, families encouraged pilots, and children drew pictures of hope. Humanity had found power in unity, courage, and determination. Months passed. The alien fleet eventually withdrew beyond the orbit of Jupiter. The threat remained, but humans had grown stronger. Humanity had survived, adapted, proven its ability to defend its planet. Mira stood on the observation deck of Guardian 1. She looked at the stars and thought of the aliens beyond them. They had underestimated humans. They had thought fear would control them, but courage had guided them. Humans had risen above panic, above division, and above weakness. General Tan joined her. They know now. Humans are not a species to conquer easily. We have shown them strength and intelligence combined with unity. That is a lesson they will not forget. Myra nodded. We have also learned something. Fear is temporary. Courage, unity, and determination are eternal. Humanity will survive and rise no matter the challenge. The message that had started as a threat had become a catalyst for unity. The alien challenge had revealed the true spirit of humanity. From fear, humans had built strength. From division, they had created unity. From doubt, they had found courage. The letter to the stars remained a symbol. It showed that humans were aware, ready, and proud. They were a species that could rise against impossible odds. They had defended their home, protected each other, and proven to the universe that they were not weak. Mira watched as Guardian 1 rotated slowly above Earth. The sun reflected off its metal surface, creating a bright halo. Every light was a symbol of human effort, skill, and courage. Humanity had faced an enemy far stronger, but they had survived. They had risen stronger, smarter, and more united. And somewhere in the galaxy, the alien fleet had received the message. They now understood that humans were a species unlike any they had encountered. Humans were not easy to control, not easy to predict, and not easy to defeat. The universe had received a new warning. Humans were strong, united, and ready. The story of courage and unity would continue. And humanity had written the first chapter with resilience, intelligence, and hope. Mira smiled as she looked at Earth below. Humanity had survived the threat. Humanity